Let's do it. Hi everyone. Hi. Welcome. Welcome. You probably remember that we left off having brought Alize back to the Crystarium with us after she had the awful revelation of just how out of her depth she was in Erang, and how defeating the Sin Eaters and ending the Flood of Light is going to take some more meaningful action. And I think, we're going to Kholusia next in search of Alphinaud. Yeah. Koji, it's the perfect sort of thing to make a reference to say that. Oh, yeah. You'll visit Alphinaud in Kholusia then. Excellent. As I mentioned, your destination is an island off the west coast, so you will need a mount capable of making the journey. Here's a letter of introduction. Present it to Zem Zhenmai, the Master of Beasts at the Tenenos Rookery, and he will take care of you. When you see Alphinaud, be sure to pass on my warmest regards. Okay. Let's get the BGM on. And, that should be alright. How's the volume, guys? Is it okay? Here's a beautiful tiny Chungo. Is that a tiny dancer? I mean, like, yeah. I hadn't thought of that, but yeah, Chungo is a tiny dancer. Alright. Tenenos Rookery. The Tenenos Rookery. We have not unlocked yet. So I think, yeah, we're back to the Aetherat Plaza. So I'm thinking how we're gonna handle the role quests in this playthrough. I'm not sure. I know we don't have to do them until we get up to the Tempests. So when I do get to the Tempest, I might just go and do them all in like all in one chunk. I think it would probably be the easiest and smartest way to do it. And then I can upload that as like a video on its own for ranged physical DPS role quests. And then we can do subsequent parts for each of the other ones, right? Because I don't think I recorded and did anything on YouTube with the role quests. And they're all really, really good, particularly the final one. Alright, Zem Zhenmai. Your face is unknown to me. What business have you at my rookery? Letter of introduction. Signed by the Exarch, no less. Yes, I can provide you with an Amaro for passage to Kholusia. I will pick you out a friendly whelp. And there I was expecting a chocobo. A chocobo? You hail from one of Novrant's more isolated settlements, perchance. I hear there are a few places where they ride little else. But here in the Crystarium, mounts like that grey fellow there are far more commonly used. Being you are plainly unaccustomed to riding Amaro, I think it best I accompany you on this flight myself. Any Zun worthy of the name could do it, of course, but the Exarch sent you to me. Ensuring your safety is my responsibility. Gather your things and meet me at the Amaro Lodge. One of the junior tamers will attend to you while I ready the mounts. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Man, I really want my Amaro mount. I haven't got it on my main yet. I've been focusing on my crafters and gatherers, and I've still got like half of my war and magic jobs to level up. But I love them! I love them so much! Hope everyone's having a great day except Seawolves. What the hell's wrong with Seawolves? Man, Seawolves, yeah, you can't be slapping on my girl Merlwib like that. Unbelievable. You want to fly tomorrow to Kholusia? Well, I suppose Master Zhenmai is going with you. Wait here, please. The Master should be along with the mount shortly. You can now travel to Kholusia. Speak with the aspiring Amaro tamer to fly to the island.
whistling breeze mute, the pounding surf frozen. Time itself takes a breath. At light's edge, all is perfectly still. The world captured in a painting, locked in a moment. Music, faint and fleeting, drifts coastward on the lifeless air. And in the distance, beyond the broken earth, a city beckons.
So Eulmore is the one surviving pre-flood city-state, right? Correct me if I'm wrong there, but I believe that Eulmore was around at the same time as the others, as Lakeland. And as Nabath Arang and Vobert. It's the one that survived. Which I guess was one of the reasons why it was, I guess, the center of the resistance against the Sin Eaters for the longest time. Pretty much the entire war effort against the Sin Eaters was led by Eulmore and organized out of Eulmore. And I suppose that is a large part of the reason why it was targeted by Emmett Selk to become what it is now. Ando is from Eulmore. I don't know if he's from Eulmore, but I'm pretty sure he's from Kholusia originally. Eulmore is also the most militaristic of the city-states. I don't know if that's true. Vobert was also very militaristic. And Lakeland as well, obviously, but Lakeland was ruled by the Shadowkeeper before the flood, so, you know, they were never going to be in any kind of position. We know that Arbert's journey began in Kholusia. In the same way that, you know, the Warrior of Light, our journey began in whichever the city-states we chose our first class from. So, there's that. We are arrived. This is Cracked Shell Beach on the eastern coast of Kholusia. You should be safe here for the present. Compared to the mainland, Sin Eater attacks are far less prevalent. The native beasts are not any more dangerous than elsewhere. This is the people you should be wary of. The sunken city in Ilmeg? Vobert? No. I do not think Arbit was from Vobert, no. Spy you that city in the distance. That is Eulmore, the island's main settlement. He spent a lot of time there, but I don't think that's where he was from originally. Unless I've just forgotten. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong. It rivals the Crystarium in scale, and was once an ally in our battle against the abominations. For years, the Eulmoran elite have fancied themselves the masters of what remains of our broken world. They have gone as far as to offer the leaders of other settlements their protection if we bend the knee. But to say their ideals are questionable would be putting it mildly. The Crystarium is one among many who resist their heavy-handed authority, and while we are not at war, our relationship with Eulmore is strained at best. It may be wise to consider your ties with the Exarch during your stay here, especially in the vicinity of the city. I am glad we understand each other. Now, the Exarch has instructed me to divulge a secret that should make finding your friend a good deal easier. Listen closely. So the reason I think Ardbert is probably not, I'm pretty sure he's not from Vobert, is because Vobert was a kingdom founded by the Galgent and the Dran. So the Rogaden and the Aura. And most of the pre-flood city-states were kind of like that. They were basically founded by the cooperation of generally two races that would make up together like pretty much the entire population. And there was very little sort of not like modern Eorzea where like all of the city-states are fairly diverse in population. And Eulmore was mostly Humes. Yeah, they were far less cosmopolitan. Correct. Amarang was Humes and Nabath Arang was Humes and what do they call the kobolds here? But it was founded by their collaboration. And then, of course, the mining settlements throughout Amarang were the big cat boys and the little Twinkie cat boys. If you head south along the coast, you'll eventually come to a fisherman's shack. Friend of the Crystarium lives there, a man who goes by the name of Ivor. Ivor keeps an eye, get it? just a little joke. On everything that happens in Kholusia, and will be able to point you in the right direction. Just hand him a sprig of time. That will let him know. Be trusted. Yep, this should be enough. Find your friend. I will stay here with the Amaro until you're ready to return. I also find it really interesting in Novrant that, like, the more civilized beast races in Eorzea, i.e. goblins, have kind of traded places with the less civilized ones. Do we know what that is, by the way? I'm not certain that we do. The new Stone Sky Sea, is it? I don't think we know yet. That Stone Sky Sea? It is. Or is it further to the west? Yeah, I was under the impression that that was like a little bit further westward. But I don't know, maybe it is, I'm not sure. Hello? Hello, I was about to call you Kamari, but your horn is not broken. Hornless. What you after? Fish? Crab? Think I got an eel in a barrel somewhere, if you've a taste for him. Little Rodso. Oh, I do love a bit of thyme. Chuck some in a pan, and it's like a bloody festival of flavor. Now, what is it I can do for you? Can't say as there's been any major upset to report these past few weeks. Alphinaud, hey? I know the one, our young champion of the downtrodden. Eulmore's richer than all of Novrand put together, but it's a different story for them as live outside the city. Most spend every waking moment just trying to stay alive, which makes your friend's dedication to helping others stand out all the more. I can hazard a guess as to where he is now, get a message to him, but you'll need somewhere quiet to meet away from prying eyes. Make for Steel Tide. That's the fishing village just up the path there. You're looking for a rundown excuse for a tavern the locals call the Leaky Keel. Wait there, and I'll see that Alphinaud joins you. Is it known how goblins became so technologically advanced? Well, they're nomadic, and generally they only appear in Eorzea every, like, 10 years, I think. For the most part. And I don't know, it's just like a long-standing cultural thing where they're all, you know, scavengers and tinkerers, and they have this sort of deference for the technology. It's something that I imagine goes back like thousands and thousands of years. This your first time in a tavern? It's customary to buy a drink if you mean to loiter. What'll you be having? See, the Warrior of Light answer is water. But the Dwarven answer is ale. And little Chungo here is always very, very conflicted when he's faced with this kind of quandary. A fine choice. And what will you be paying with? Well now, those are exotic. Where'd you come by coins like that? Oh, I'm sorry, dear, I don't doubt they have value, but I don't have a touchstone to test their purity, and I'm not about to go begging for one from the neighbours, so we'll just have to come to some other arrangement. Oh, here's an idea. There's a common to the north where we grow our vegetables, but lately the pests have been eating more of them than we have. What do you say, a bit of extermination work? I want you to squash any vermin you find, then visit the caretaker and give him an earful from me for sleeping on the job. I'm in the old silo next to the fence, snoring like as not. Do that for me and you can laze about here as long as you like. Alright. Dwarf answer is ale and then insult it for being water. I find it interesting that we don't get more comments, at least so far, playing as Lalafell, about being, you know, a dwarf without a helmet on. I know that when we get up to Tomra, there's a bit more of that. But given that dwarves are basically, you know, treated as a beast race, it would kind of be like, you know, playing ARR as a Sahagin, you know? So, particularly for that part, I'm quite excited to be playing a dwarf for this playthrough. I don't think we need technical steps to kill level 70 mobs. Although, at the same time, why not? So I have actually already leveled Dance at 80 on my main and played a little bit of it at endgame. Man, it's so much fun. So maybe I should have gone with like a different job on this character that I haven't leveled on my main, but nah. No response. Maybe you need to knock louder. No response. Perhaps the occupant is hard of hearing. Hey, Pickles, thank you so much for that Twitch Prime sub, by the way. Thank you, thank you. You hear a faint squeaking from the room beyond. It's time to burst in and save the day, brave adventurer! No one is home, and judging by the lack of furniture, they haven't been for some time. The odd scraps of vegetables on the floor suggest rats have taken up residence in their absence. Well, he's dead. He's dead! No, he's probably just moved to Gate Town. He's not dead, he's just a heckin' cannibal. Welcome back, dear. What that good-for-nothing caretaker have to say for himself? Maybe he is a rat. Maybe the caretaker's actually a rat. You know, there's a lot about this land that we don't know. Go on. Must have left to join the rest of the hopefuls. In Gate Town, outside Eulmore. You have a clue what I'm talking about, do you? And I was thinking you another dreamer. Well, never mind all that. Take a seat wherever you like, dear. You've more than earned it. I'll even throw in another drink on the house.
And how is business today, Mistress Theva?
You know what? A big part of me wishes Alphinaud had just kept this outfit. It really suits him.
Oh, frenetic. Look, I have a new customer.
'Tis good to see you, my friend.
Look at Alphinaud, like, trying his hardest not to cry.
The barley seeds you wanted. They should produce a better harvest than the last.
What, just like that? Oh, Alphinaud, you really are a dear. Well, I'd best be tidying up some of those empty shacks before the pests move in. Keep an eye on the place while I'm out, eh?
It seems an age since last we spoke. Not since the prisoner exchange in Doma. And Yotsu. It has been even longer for me, of course, if you count the days I've spent here. But the time has only added to the relief I feel seeing you safe and well. Huh. Alize said much the same thing. I don't think I've ever had such a scolding. But I believe an exchange of news is in order. Come, tell me of your arrival and all that came before.
Well, Alphinaud is a little less guarded with us than Alize. And yeah, he's growing a little bit taller every expansion.
But the Exarch and Alize told me what they knew of events, but I had stubbornly clung on to the hope that all-out war might yet be avoidable. And poor Tataru. She must be sick with worry. We must endeavor to return as soon as we may. It would be nice to bring her good tidings for a change.
I'm not sure, Lammy. That's a good question.
Before we bid this world farewell, we must first ensure that it is not rejoined to the source. We must prevent the 8th Umbral calamity.
But I do know that he was a little bit taller in Heavensward and a little bit taller in Stormblood.
Urianger's vision of the future has, I fear, every chance of coming true. By his description, the catalyst for the calamity was a formless and deadly weapon employed by the Garlean Empire.
You know, I think it's interesting given how many times Urianger has had to lie to or deceive the other Scions in order for, you know, the greater good, that they still just like take him on face value. They're so trusting.
Which can only mean one thing. Black Rose. Gaius was telling you the truth. When we were on the trail of the Ascians, we saw evidence that the gas was being manufactured once more. Gaius was adamant that the project had been scrapped. But so long as there are wars to be waged, there will always be those determined to win by any means.
Gaius must feel so guilty about this. So for those of you who don't know, Black Rose was developed by the 14th Legion under Gaius in Alamigo. And when he found out about it, he had it all destroyed and buried. And the scientist that was in charge of the development that had basically gone batshit crazy had them imprisoned. And yeah, did his level best to destroy any evidence of it whatsoever. So this is all like very, very personal for him, and I don't think they really touch on that in the MSQ.
And thus simply destroying the existing stores of Black Rose would do little to alter fate's course. In that sense, our involuntary journey here to the First was something of a boon. Together with the Exarch, we've developed a theory as to how we believe the rejoining will be set in motion. I'm sure Urianger himself will cover the subject in more detail. But I can tell you the process requires that both worlds, the Source and the First, be facing an existential threat.
We need an entire patch of Hangout with Gaius and Estinian. I think that, again, this is like seriously going to date this episode for YouTube, considering 5.2 is in a couple of weeks and we're going to learn one way or another the truth of this. But I suspect that maybe the weapons side quest is going to evolve Gaius and Estinian, because again, that roleplay quest that we had as Estinian fighting against that new Ultima weapon prototype thing, that's something else that Gaius is going to feel responsible for. And these other weapons are probably coming off that same sort of research. And he's probably going to feel responsible for that. He's probably going to be feeling responsible for, you know, destroying them. Chrono, thank you very much for 33 months. I appreciate it.
One being Sin Eaters, of course. They are a menace that I would dearly love to remove, and not just to avert a calamity. I may be a stranger to this world, but I will not stand idly by and let innocent people be slaughtered. That is what brought me to the gates of Eulmore. Ignoring its pretensions as a kind of capital city to what remains of the world, it is nonetheless a center of power and authority. If any solutions are to be found, I believe our search should begin there. What say you, old friend? Hungry for another adventure? And so we take to the road once more.
Do we know what the people on the First call the planet? I'm not sure. The people on the First don't have knowledge of other stars, other shards, other worlds. And generally, when you give something a name, you do so in order to identify it as separate from other things of its type. So I think they just call their world the world, you know? I don't think they call it Heidelin, if that's what you're asking. Assuming you have no objections, let us make our way directly to the city outskirts. If we time our arrival just right, you may be lucky enough to see why I have yet to set foot in Eulmore, despite my best efforts to do so. Come. From here, we must head west and then cross a small bridge. People on the source know about different worlds. Yeah, I mean, at least the Sharlands and the Garlands and, you know, the Onishishu and other sort of, you know, educated people. Your average, you know, Eorzean bumpkin, no. But it is knowledge that is kind of out there in relevant circles. Kholusia seems peaceful, does it not? Almost familiar? I had a similar impression of the Crystarium. Even in this distant world, people are much the same. To think that whenever a calamity struck the source, a reflection such as this one, with all its culture and history, was being erased from existence. No, get away from me! Over there. Quickly, someone's in trouble. Ruh-roh. So here I'd say the Ronkin would have had knowledge. Definitely. The cult to which Nielbert was raised, I believe they would as well. But all these people are gone. The flood kind of removed all of that. Oh, thank the fates! Look out! Ronkins knew of Tartarus? Oh, the Ronkins absolutely knew of Tartarus. And we don't even know what Tartarus is. Interesting, Pickles. Interesting. My poor heart. Thank you, young sir. Ah, there you are. In my haste, I lost my bearings, but I see you have the situation well in hand. Fine work. Are you all right, madam? Just a few bruises from where I fell. Nothing compared to what was in store for me before this brave soul came to my rescue. I honestly thought I was done for. My feet are not as swift as once were, and I knew there was no one left to hear me scream. Not that I let that stop me. I should probably leave my old house behind and queue up outside Eulmore with the rest of them. Doubt those fancy lords and ladies would welcome an old crone like me. Still, even a shack near the gate has to be safer than staying here. One would hope. Either way, I suggest you avoid wandering alone, lest you make the Sin Eater's task any easier. Thank you again. You saved my life. Now, I'm sure a strapping lad like you has little to fear, but I wouldn't linger long in this place. There's naught to be had here but cobwebs and memories. Is as the lady says. Many in these parts have abandoned their homes to live in Eulmore's shadow. Should the Sin Eaters descend upon this region, there are precious few with the strength to fight them off. Speaking of which, what have you been told of these monsters? Ah, yes. Alizé would be well qualified to speak on the subject. Compared with Armor Rang, Kholusia is almost a haven. But as you saw, we cannot let our guard down. Had you arrived a few moments later, the Sin Eaters would have claimed another victim. Still, we've won a small victory this time at least. Now shall we press on? We need to return to where the road forks and follow the path that leads west. Okay. Hey, Sathalin, thank you so much for 28 months, my dude. Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. How are you today, by the way? You reckon you probably think too much into things, Pickles? Well, join the club, mate.
That gate up ahead is known as the Open Arms, and Eulmore itself lies beyond. This, meanwhile, is the aptly named Gate Town, the dwelling place of the many desperate souls who hope to be chosen to live in the city proper.
Ah, I thought I recognized you. Brought a new friend, eh? I'll bet you got a trick or two up your sleeve. Maybe even 3. Care to show me?
Is this guy propositioning me right now? Also, I love you know that they're poor because they speak Cockney.
He's not here to compete. Leave him be.
You can always tell poor people in fantasy.
What? I was only making conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please!
Oh dear.
Greetings to our hopeful petitioners, one and all. Eulmore extends its warmest regards. Let it be known that a lady of distinction wishes to dine on fish divine. We seek a master culinarian who can guarantee seafood perfection. Dazzle the matron with your delicious dishes, and life in the city will be yours to enjoy. Even on days when fish is not on the menu! Who among you will answer the call? Name yourself or another. We may not at all.
You know, it would be really great if you were actually a level 70 culinarian in this bit to be able to volunteer yourself.
Fish, is it? Was there anyone?
What about that girl?
Do you recall how I said Eulmore was a center of power and authority? Well, that is not the only reason for its fame. It is also known as the City of Final Pleasures. The noble and the wealthy who survived the flood gathered here to live out the rest of their days in decadent abandon. A poor man could sooner pass through the Iron Needle than Eulmore's gates. The only way the common folk can enter this perverted paradise is if they fulfill the whim of one of the privileged. And so they are picked over like market produce.
Look at Alphinaud talking as though Charlian is any different. Like, Charlian is basically the same,
I'll not be throwing this one back. Having seen your all too obvious charms, we welcome you with open arms. Come, join us in a city of splendor and live out your life in an ecstasy of endeavor. Oh, just look at those expectant faces. What could you possibly be waiting for? Well, what have we here? An extra share of meal to celebrate our newest resident!
People don't get yoked to their deaths in Charlian.
Hey, you!
I mean, they do if they try to, like, share Charlian knowledge with anyone else.
Meal is a foodstuff which Eulmore routinely doles out to the people of Gate.
Louis Soir is not very popular back
staple
home.
for its citizens as well. Many here rely on it to survive in these times of scarcity. Yet the whole arrangement just seems... well, let's just say it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Extra meal because that's the last chef? Yeah, honestly, probably. Yeah, they probably just got fed the remains of whoever they're needing to replace. I mean, they turn him into a sin eater first, right? They don't just eat people. There's a process, alright? Gotta be properly prepared. Now you understand why my attempts to enter the city have thus far come to naught. The dubious privilege of residency must be won via a contest with ever-changing rules. Alphinaud, you're a rich snob as well. These are your people. Shouldn't have had so much trouble. They say this policy has been in place for the past 2 decades, ever since Eulmore's current ruler came into power. Yet from what I've seen, it does more harm than good. Not only does it distract people from our shared struggle against the Sin Eaters, it robs them of their self-sufficiency. I have tried to propose ways they could improve their lot, but my words invariably fall on deaf ears. The attitude is so entrenched now, I worry that, well, mayhap you should take a turn around Gate Town and judge the situation for yourself. He did. He bought a katana for like 10 million. You're right. Although, who among us has not bought some weapon glam for 10 million? No?
Still here, are you? Can't blame you for wanting a slice of Eulmore's pie. If you ask me, you should ditch that sour-faced brat and make a home for yourself here. Gate Town's not much to look at, but at least it's safe. And the meal is the best thing I've ever tasted.
Iced is 3 mil. Okay, well, if it's not weapons, then it's something else, right? I mean, Tal wanted to buy a house, so she managed to convince me to fork over like 6 million to, you know, buy a plot and some housing items yesterday. Large pot bubbles over the flame. Pale chunks of meal, you realize, float in the otherwise plain broth. Ugh. Bought a tree for 13 mil. Oh my god. Sophia weapons are your weakness? Nice. Nice. Just look at it. Can you imagine a more beautiful city? Every day I dream of the life that waits for me inside those walls. Oh, will they ever pick me? It's kind of ugly, honestly. Inside as well, it's just, oh, it's so gaudy. Yeah. 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 Do I have to jump from one of the rooftops to get this one? How the fuck? Ah, here we go. You did see she was decorating in the link shell? Yeah. Yeah. By the way, if any of you guys on... I'm not on light at the moment. I'm on primal, but my main's on light now. If any of you guys want to cross-world link shell on light, just for, you know, socializing and running content and stuff, then let me know. Send me a tell on light next time I'm on my main. You've seen what Gate Town has to offer. These people can no longer fend for themselves. They become dependent on handouts of meal and believe Eulmore is the answer to all their woes. Yet no matter how I frame my encouragement, they seem unwilling, nay, unable to conceive of any other way of life. Oh, you're on Odin? Yeah, my main's on Odin. You disapprove of these people's way of life. Disapprove? It frustrates me, certainly. That's only part of it, though. The whole situation makes me uneasy. Not that it matters. However unjust this system seems to me, if these people claim to be content with their lot, it is hardly my place to criticize their choices. Take that elderly lady you rescued. Does it not seem that those who have chosen to forego Eulmore's largesse are doomed to suffer for their independence? In the end, they are all but forced to seek refuge in Gate Town, so hamlets and fields across this island are left empty and untended, hastening the region's descent into ruin. Nay, I am not convinced that Eulmore's generosity truly serves the best interests of Kholusia's people. I am not so naive as to think there is some miraculous solution to all of this, yet I cannot help but frown at the sight of hardworking villagers struggling to survive, even as the chosen few rejoice at being plucked from poverty by the hands of a capricious noble. Again, that's exactly what Louis Soir did to Thancred. There has to be a better way. I will not know for sure, however, until I've taken those long-delayed steps through Eulmore's gates. It's fortunate that you arrived when you did, Ethys. I have been working on a scheme to insinuate myself into the city, and if all goes to plan, it should soon come to fruition. Hey, Arclight, what's up? There is a beast tribe who makes its home in the seas surrounding the island. The Ando, they are called, though you and I know them as Sargon. For the most part, they keep to themselves in their ocean grottos, and rarely have dealings with the land dwellers. But as Tataru took such great pains to impress upon me during our stay in Kugane, business favors the bold, and so I reached out to them. I duly discovered that the Ando are inordinately fond of land-grown produce, fresh fruits in particular, and when I offered to procure such goods from them, they promised to pay me in pearls. An attractive business venture for any prospective investor, would you not agree? Surely even the most jaded Eulmoran lord would have time for a merchant who can make pearls from plums and pumpkins. Yes, I've come a long way since my days of buying samurai swords without first negotiating a price. My appointment with the Ando is due to take place in a few hours. I just need to collect the produce and meet with them on the shore. Might you help me make the exchange? Excellent, I should be glad of your company. First things first, then. We must pay a visit to Moshe Moa, my supplier in Right. Come, it is to the northwest of here. Alphinaud's a good boy. Oh, he does his best. Ah, damn it. Damn it, buddy. So he says he's not so naive, but he's still is not particularly careful with what he says and where and how loudly. He outruns our cloud bike somehow. Or maybe he's got his own method of transportation. Maybe he's already attuned to the aetheryte over here and he can teleport. You ever think of that? Is there something I can do for you, friend? Good day to you, Moshamoa. This is my associate Ethys. We're here to collect the produce I purchased. Eh? I loaded your lackey up with the goods not long ago. My lackey? I know of no such person. Mistel lad, short blue hair? No. He said he'd come on your behalf, and since he seemed to know all the details, I just assumed. Confound it. One must have been eavesdropping on our conversation. If this charlatan was here not long ago, he cannot have gone far. We should split up and search the area. You find a vantage point on the south side of town, and I shall take the west. Okay. Pickles, you've nailed it. That's why he's fast. Is Sonic, the cat boy. Okay. One of these ones. Alright. There you are, you son bitch. Ethys, any sign of him? He's right there, isn't he? You've a keen eye. Let us move in before he makes good his escape. I'm trying to remember this guy's name and I cannot for the life of me. I know we've been doing delivery quests for him and like he's just so yeah, Kai Shir, that's it, yeah. He's just so forgettable. I don't know why. He's just such a forgettable character to me. I don't like him. I don't hate him. He's just forgettable.
The thief who claims the harvest on my behalf. Hand it over.
Well, forgive me. I have to get into the city. I have no family and all my friends have already been chosen. No one here gives a damn about me. When the meal gets handed out, I'm lucky if I get a smell of it. No matter what I do, they won't call out my name. I'm so tired, I'm so bloody hungry. I thought maybe I could steal your idea, get in that way.
What is your name?
Kai Shir.
Tell me then, Kai Shir. Must it be Eulmore or nothing? What of the Crystarium? They may not offer charity, but you would be fairly compensated for any work you did.
No, it has to be Eulmore. That's where all my friends are. We made a promise that we'd live together in paradise.
was to make my deal with the Ando at the Clave. Listen carefully, and I shall tell you my plans for the business, and how best to arouse the Eulmoran's interest.
You'll give me your place? Just like that?
I'm giving you a chance, nothing more. What comes of it is entirely up to you.
I understand. Oh, thank you, thank you!
Yeah, Hex, alright. I guessed. How you doing, mate? What's up?
This was but one path. There will be others. But for young Kaishia, it was the difference between life and death.
Oh, so
I do not
trusting,
regret my
Alphinaud.
decision. Yet I will admit that a part of me wonders if it was for the best. We strive to bring swift salvation to this world. That countless lives might be saved, not least your own. Even if it came at the cost of one man, should I have forged on regardless?
You good since you missed the Teslian scene? Oh my god. Yeah, I had to, it was the same with my first playthrough. Like, I had to just cut it there and just, like, walk away. Like, I can't keep playing after the Teslian scene. I'm like, nope, I need to go lie down for, like, 24 hours. Oh. That's not who you are. It's true.
I suppose not. Were Estinian here, he would most likely scoff at my soft-heartedness.
Same old Alphinaud, ever the slave to sentiment.
Alphinaud,
But I thank you
you're
for
really
your
not doing
kind
yourself
words
favors there.
nonetheless. Let us see to it that both these stories have a happy ending. Shall we return to Wright then?
You know, if Estinian were here, he'd probably chastise me and say, "Oh, same old Alphinaud," and then he'd spank my bum and he'd make me call him daddy and and then Gaius would join in, and then they'd both be on like either side of me, and then
Come on, they may need our help.
Good old Alphinaud. Ethys describing his fantasy. No, I'm describing Alphinaud's. I just think it's so funny that he's still like, it's been years for Alphinaud since Heaven's Award. And he's still, like, so fixated on Estinian. And Estinian's still so fixated on him as well. Like, when Estinian rescued us, he was talking about Alphinaud. When he rescued us from Xenos. That should take care of the worst of his injuries. Mercy. Mercy, I beg you. Breathe easy, sir. No harm will come to you here. Poor man is shivering. Ray, keep an eye on him while I get a fire going. You should get on that, Pingu. It's a good one. I thought for certain I was dead. How am I ever to repay this kindness? We'll settle for the tale behind your current predicament. Why don't you begin by telling us your name? Tristal. I was invited into Eulmore to work as an artist. A wealthy couple took me in to paint pictures for them. When my style proved contrary to their taste, they just as quickly turfed me out in the street. Yeah, Yeah. I was left penniless and patronless, a grave sin in Lord Vothry City. Within days, they had me brought before the man himself, and he asked me what I meant to do. Dejected as I was, I told him that I wished to leave. Little did I know how soon he would grant me my wish. They flung me over the balustrade into the God's damned ocean. From up there? How were you not dashed to pieces? Don't ask me. Luck, I suppose. Though if you hadn't found me when you did, wouldn't have counted for much. Monstrous. And the citizens condone such barbaric punishment? Oh, without a second thought. When Lord Vothry passes judgment, no one such as blinks, let alone argues. In Eulmore, his word is law. Oh, but they're so precious, Hexa. Oh, they're such good people. The more I hear about Eulmore, the more determined I am to see what waits within its walls. I shall bend all my thought towards securing another way into the city. There must be something we can do. But first, we should convey Tristal to the shelter of the village. Fire or no fire, he needs to be out of this chilly coastal air. Away into the city? Oh, but they didn't actually do it. No, they just brought him to Vothry so that Vothry could do it. You can be a cute couple and still commit atrocities. Alright, that's fair. I won't argue with that. Yeah, but he said that they were the ones that brought him before Vothry. Pray accept my deepest gratitude. I owe you both my life. And, if you'll permit me, I will assist you in your attempt to enter Eulmore, insofar as I'm able at any rate. To be frank, the thought of sending my saviours into that awful place makes me sick to the stomach. Since it's plain you've set your minds to it, you should take this. It's my favourite paintbrush. The Eulmoran elite are never satisfied until they get exactly what they want. If I'm not mistaken, the couple I mentioned will be looking for someone to replace me. If you make a show of owning such a well-used brush, you may be able to convince people you have a talent for painting. Are you certain? This is your livelihood. We cannot deprive you of such a treasured possession. I'll give it gladly after all you've done for me. Besides, I can't... Oh, don't think I have the heart to paint anymore. As to what I'll do instead, I honestly haven't decided. But I shan't stay long in this place. Not with that city brooding over me. Nay, I'll move on to new lands and a new profession. And I'll keep you in my prayers from now until my dying day. Yeah, this was very convenient, wasn't it? Yeah, I agree with you, Zoo, 100%. We get like a pretty good redemption arc for him. They say kindness is its own reward, but Tristal has repaid us with a gift as timely as it was unexpected. We will, however, need to act upon his advice before another painter steps in to fill the vacancy. Thankfully, I do have some modest skill with a brush. Nothing approaching that of a true artist, of course, but enough to play the role, I would hope. As for you, Well, if you don't mind taking a subordinate role, mayhap you could pose as my assistant. Then it is settled. All we need to do now is return to Gate Town and await the next appearance of those vile jesters. I think it would have been really cool if you had a Disciple of Hand at 70, that you had like an alternate way of getting in. I thought that would have been really interesting. By assistant he means manservant? Yeah. I just love it how he says, if you don't mind taking a subordinate role, as if anyone's ever cared about that. Here they come.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention once more. What a day it's been for the folks at our door. We've welcomed a peddler who made pearls from a plum, and now we've a place for a painter of a plum. So come along and don't be slow. It's time to let your colours show.
I can paint. Portraits at least. Landscapes and still lifes are so rarely commissioned these days.
Oh, I thought I spied some new faces in the crowd. What fortune that you should feel at ease around an easel. What proof have you of your prowess? Any masterpieces on your person?
Sadly not. Everything I paint is soon sold, such is the life of a working artist. I've only my brush to testify for me, though you will note that it has seen no small amount of service.
Aha! Ho! Flecks of paint both old and new, too much loved and much used. Not a prop to be conjured on the hop. Very well, come with us and we'll put those talents to the test. And who is this hanger-on? Well-wisher or parasite?
Why, this is my assistant. He whose unfailing support allows my art to flourish. I will go with him or not at all.
Parasite, then. He shall leave his fate in the hands of your new employer. It matters not a whit to us. And having filled our latest vacant space, we retire to Eulmore's sweet embrace. Oh, mercy me, the meal! We almost took our leave without leaving a loving token. We must empty the sacks ere we make our way back.
Oh, it's so important to empty the sacks before you make your way back. Everyone knows that. How did the gestures get a place in Eulmore? Did someone request a pair of twins that annoy to no end? I mean, probably, yeah.
Redemption is beyond us.
They're jesters, like that's, you know, that's a thing.
The lament of all but saints and fools, and the comfort of the lords and ladies of this accursed place. Once they held fast against the madness, only to embrace the coming cataclysm and delight in the end of days. Perhaps in rapture they seek to lose themselves and the misery they share. Or perhaps for them alone, the promise of eternal pleasure really does hold true.
You feel cheated out of fat cat boys and girls? What, the fact that they're not playable? I wish they were. Wish we did have more body options. It would be nice. Eulmore, finally.
Got saving ground from this angle, eh? Eh? Welcome, welcome to the city of final pleasures. Feel free to weep at its magnificence. No? Not even a single tear? Moving right along then. Our first task is to register you as residents. You know, make it all nice and official. We'll smooth the way, so you just need to put on your happy faces and head through the joyous hall. The Bureau of Immigration is the first room to the left outside the passage. Declare your name and occupation in a nice loud voice. The clerks will tell you where to go from there. Oh, and pay no mind to those folks off the east side, off to the side of the road. Much like the hopefuls in Gate Town, they haven't earned the right to enter the city proper. If, however, you enjoy basking in the envy of your fellow man, then by all means, take your time. But why waste another moment? Go, enjoy the beginning of your new life in paradise.
The Bureau of Immigration, was it? I suppose we had better show ourselves willing for the time being. How in the heck do we not have to have a massive fight to get out of Eulmore after the end of this? Yeah, it still seems kind of weird to me as well. Especially considering the fact that eventually we do. But I think it adds to Vothri's character that it takes him like several minutes to actually work out that someone's had the audacity to go against him. Like, it's never happened before. He's never once been contradicted. Like, he's just so stunned. Welcome to Eulmore, fortunate friends. May I have your names? I am Alphinaud, an artist, and this is Ethys, my assistant. Ah, yes, I was informed of your imminent arrival. We can forego the usual interview and begin processing your registration papers forthwith. Now, the citizens of Eulmore are divided into two classes. There are the free, who are blessed with the favour of Lord Vothri, and the bonded, who work in the employ of the free. You will be joining the ranks of the bonded. Your duties are to serve a patron, in the capacity for which you were chosen, in your case, painting pretty pictures. Should your patrons dismiss you for any reason, you must find another sponsor among the free or accept work as a general labourer. I see. And might you tell us something of the patron we are to serve? The two patrons, actually. Chai Nuz and Dulia Chai, a misspelled couple whom most refer to as the Chais. They are both gentle souls, but I would ask that you conduct yourself with respect and humility for your own sake as much as theirs. Now, a moment please, while I complete the relevant paperwork. All in order. These are your registration documents. I don't know why, but I just got like a flashback of the beginning of Morrowind. Take those papers next door and submit them to the clerk. Once they've been stamped, you will officially be Eulmoran citizens. Enjoy your new life in paradise. Welcome to the Bureau of Registration. Papers, please. What have we here? Alphinaud, artist.
Ethys, artist's assistant, to be employed in the service of Lord Chinders and Lady Julia Chai. Yes, everything seems to be in order. Your registration is hereby approved. I think it best we deliver you to the Chai residence before... Oh dear. You smell hideous. Did you crawl here through a ditch? It's like an unholy miasma of dust and sweat and the musk of some unwashed beast. Proceed directly to the delousery next door and scrub yourselves clean. Use whichever showers are free. After you've rinsed away that stench, you want to splash yourselves with this perfume liberally. Once you've made yourselves presentable, then you may proceed to the Chai residence. Cornen, the guard by the stairs, will give you the directions. It is our very first canonical path, yeah. I had not realized we were so aromatic. Yeah, we've jumped in some hot springs a few times, like back in A Realm Reborn. I don't think there was any soap involved. Is this a housing item yet? The delouser? Where's Alphinaud? Oh. Oh dear. Oh, you've showered and dressed already, have you? Is this not... That is to say... seems rather exposed for one's ablutions, does it not? What would a Stinian say? Good gods. You'll mention nothing of this. Swear to me. Yeah, what? That was not a rhetorical question, Alphinaud. What would a Stinian say? Well, that was bracing. I believe the lingering smells of the road have been successfully expunged. Shall we go and present ourselves to our new patrons then? What does the blood of the dragon smell like? That's a good question. Probably not great. You're looking to present yourself to the Chais, are you? Let me explain how the city's laid out then. Imagine 3 layers, one on top of the other. This layer here is called the buttress. Above us is the understory, where the military has its headquarters, and above that, you've got the canopy, which is where the free citizens of Eulmore spend their days. So, if you want to find your new patrons, you need to keep climbing until you run out of stairs. Then look for the Grand Dame's parlor. They'll be in there like as not. And I think the point of Nidhogg's blood is that it's like irreparably stained the armor. It's soaked in. I mean, that's how the Gaybolg are forged. They cool them. Same with the Draken mail. Rather than using water to cool the steel, they cool them in dragon blood, and it like infuses into the armor, so the armor becomes more ethereally laden. And Nidhogg's blood, I'm sure, would have the same effect, but way more powerful.
way more powerful. Just don't let any splash in your mouth if you're Ishgardian, because that's gonna be a bad time.
Oh, who's this then?
Lord and Lady Chai, pray forgive our intrusion. I am given to understand you were in search of an artist.
Ah, you must be the new,
Oh, goodness me! What an adorable boy! That silken hair, those pearly cheeks, oh, and you even smell wonderful, like a bed of flowers.
Like, for Julia, she's just been given a new plush toy, you know? She's been given a new body pillow.
I approve of this one, dearest. I am positive he'll paint us the most delightful pictures.
yes. Well, as long as he paints better than that talentless wretch we sent packing last week.
Wonderful, wonderful! Welcome to Eulmore.
Alphinaud, if it please you, my lady. And this is my assistant.
Your assistant? I've heard of folk bringing in family members, but this seems a bit irregular. Aren't you a little young to have a protege?
We are family in all but name, my lord. Though we share no blood, we have stood by each other through life's many challenges, resolved to prevail together or not at all. Of all people, 'tis he who best understands my work. With his unique insight guiding my hand, the art I create is sure to satisfy your expectations.
Just waiting to see Chunga's eyes like roll out of his head and start bouncing along the floor.
Once the picture is begun, of course, I shall have no need of constant encouragement. And so I wondered, rather than him being in your way, might it then be permissible for my assistant to explore the city he has so longed to see? Out of gratitude for his priceless contribution to my art, I thought it only fair that I make this humble request on his behalf.
Did you ever hear of such
I
devotion?
love her voice actor so
Your
much.
assistant must have his wish. He shall be free to roam to his heart's content.
Oh, done such a good job there.
Isn't that right, darling?
Both of these two, actually.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course, dearest. Quite right.
Alright. I guess this is my seat over here. Now I have the opportunity to experience Eulmore. I suggest you make the most of it. Explore the city top to bottom. In other words, I would start with the canopy and go from there. Try wandering around the market stalls mayhap. Such places are usually filled with colourful characters only too eager to share local gossip with a friendly visitor. I would appreciate it, of course, if you could share any discoveries with me in turn. We should both learn as much as possible about our new place of residence. On it. I don't think I can attune here yet, can I? No. Oh, hello there. Fresh register, are we? You seem a little lost. Well, 'tis lovely to make your acquaintance. Speaking of acquaintances, You wouldn't happen to have run into my attendant on your wanderings, would you? Big strong lad, long hair tied back. He was escorting me on a shopping errand when I realized I'd dropped my handkerchief. And now I've been waiting here all alone while he's been off searching for it. I'm not terribly fond of being alone. If you do see him, I would be obliged if you could pass on this message. Get the silly handkerchief and return to my side at once. Alright. I think he's, yeah. Oh dear. That railing is way too far out from the walkway to be effective. Wicked white, that was too close. Oh, thank you, Fred. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't come along. I was trying to rescue my lady's handkerchief, you see. The wind must have blown it over the edge, but luckily it caught on something. I thought if I could just stretch out far enough. You must think highly of your mistress. She is my entire world. Without her, I am nothing. When I first came to Eulmore, I thought only of improving my lot in life. There was so much more of this city than wealth and plenty. There's no war here, no conflict. The residents all treat each other with warmth and respect. My mistress has been ever so kind to me. I can think of no other place in Kholusia where I could possibly be happier. Sorry, I might have got a bit carried away there. Find it hard to stop when I start counting my blessings these days. Please, you should come with me to meet my lady. Once she hears your deed, you'll be a witness to her generosity firsthand. What, lonely, you say? Curse my clumsy feet. I must return to her immediately. Oh dear. My attendant told me everything. I am so very grateful you were there to offer your assistance. You value him highly then? As if he were a member of my own family. I could not live the wonderful life I lead without him. We free citizens owe the bonded our unending gratitude. Mayhap in another society our different standing would breed prejudice or resentment, but in Eulmore a most glorious measure is in place to avert such unpleasantness. Part of that measure requires that the free surrender their fortunes. Upon registration, all of our property, financial, intellectual, or otherwise, is given over to the city. In exchange, we are provided with ample funds and commodities to live a life of pampered luxury. Being liberated from the concern of earning coin has an almost miraculous effect on people's outlook. There are no rivals to compete against, only fellow residents with whom to enjoy our tranquil existence. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must see what the markets have to offer as a reward for the return of my handkerchief. Oh, and I've not forgotten you, of course, our courageous messenger-turned-rescuer. All this talk of relying on the bonded, and I haven't given a thought as to what your duties might be. I hope I haven't interrupted your work unduly. A tour of the city, is it? Then you really must visit the Beehive. Always buzzing with activity. Local humor. Anyway, a lady by the name of Tista B usually has her seat near the entrance. She would gladly speak with you on any number of topics, assuming you find yourself on her good side. Hi, Andrew. How's it going, mate? What's up? How you doing? Hi. Hi. Alright, off to the Beehive. Man, I reckon Chungo should have just gotten in as a stripper. I am a dancer, after all, you know? Like, more than halfway there. Yeah. Welcome to the Beehive, my little drone. Seeking the sting of excitement to liven up your day? I can tell at a glance when folk are new to our happy colony. It's the nervous fluttering, you see, always gives them away. Why don't we play some cards to set you at your ease, eh? A quick game of high or low. Simply a matter of guessing who has the bigger hand. If you win, I'll grant you a single favor. Within reason, of course. Interested? Ready for a game of high or low, then? Yeah, let's play. Good for you. No time like the present, I say. Yeah, it's from 7, yes. 3 cards for you, 3 cards for me. You flip one of yours over, and I flip 2 of mine. Okay. Oh, that's tough. I'm gonna say low. You're going with low then, right? Let's see what we've got. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! A total of 18. Oh, I failed. I'm about to get kicked out. Oh, sorry, honeybee, but this match goes to me. I will be high. Definitely high. You're going with high then. Right, let's see what we've got. Congratulations, your guess was right. Usually I'd concede defeat at this point, but what do you say to a rematch? One more win, then we'll talk about that favor. Okay. I'm gonna go with low. Shit. Hi, Kath. How you doing? Nice pun. That's gotta be low. I seem to be pretty bad at this too. Congratulations, victory is yours, as is the prize I promised. Come, whisper in my ear then, and don't be shy. Tell old Tista what she could do for you. That's all. How delightfully wholesome. But if knowledge is what you want, then that is what you shall have. In my humble estimation, the most wondrous thing about this town is how safe we are from the Sin Eaters. They say Lord Vothri was born with the power to command them, which means no Eulmoran ever need raise a weapon in defense of the city. Was that the kind of thing you wish to know? If your itch still needs scratching, you might get a few words out of Arthur over there. There's naught that merry sot likes more than the sound of his own voice. What's that? New to Eulmore, you say? Only just arrived and already you're looking to peel away the layers of mystery. Oh, I'm all for chatting, but you need to slow down and enjoy life, my friend. I'll tell you what, you hop up on stage and give us a dance first, and then we can have our little talk. Okay. Jeez, I thought you'd never ask. So innocent. That's the way. Dance like there's no tomorrow. Now that was a show. You're welcome to clamber up on stage anytime you like. Now, what was it you wanted to ask me? Ah, yes, something about our fair city. Well, I can tell you it wasn't always so peaceful as it is today. The Eulmorean army may be the very essence of military might, but even our forces saw grievous losses in the war against the Sin Eaters. Things changed for us around 20 years ago now, when the old ruler's son came to power. He's got his way with the Eaters, you see. Turns them docile as house cats. I wouldn't be exaggerating to say they've become something of an ally to Eulmore, no longer an enemy to be feared. And yet elsewhere, there are still fools who insist on fighting their losing battles. Toast Lord Vothry. Okay. Right? The first time I did the high or low thing, I actually won both of them in a row. So I guess it probably just makes you keep doing it.
Oh, you've returned from your jaunt around the city so soon? You needn't have hurried back. Young Alphinaud is yet to put brush to canvas. One cannot rush good art, I'm told. Or good artists, apparently. Ah, finally.
I don't know why they think he needs like a pauldron and vambraces to paint. I've put together an ensemble of the garments you chose. Is this satisfactory?
Oh, goodness gracious me. That last outfit was precious, but this makes you look positively dashing. You truly are a handsome boy. However am I to decide?
I don't recall this part of the artistic process.
Exactly. The lad's an artist, dearest, not a dress-up doll. It's about time we set him to work for the reason we called him here. Must we? I do love a good painting, but I thought since we were enjoying ourselves so thoroughly... Well, I'm not... that is to say, as long as you... just make sure you give the lad time to prepare. We know who'll be upset if he's not ready to paint at a moment's notice. Whatever you say, darling. So, shall we pick out some jewelry next?
Okay. If you say so, Anandria. This heroic music about Alphinaud getting dressed up, I know. Lady Chai has a very particular sense of beauty, and apparently that extends to how I should dress whilst painting. But this obsession of hers works in our favor. The time I spend indulging these distractions is time you can use to continue your explorations. This excursion, I'd like you to delve into the layer below us and sniff about the military headquarters. I'm sure the understory has its own tale to tell. Okay. I can do that. Back down this way, aren't we? Such adorable murderers. I know. Such endearing scumbags. Me too, Zuva. Me too. I do still think it's like a little bit on the nose that the only time we see those character models is in, you know, this city of sinful overindulgence. But they don't like draw undue attention to it. Hello? It's dressed up like a like someone from Radzat Han. politically savvy enough to know that that wouldn't go well in this day and age. Yeah, I think Square Enix is like fairly woke these days. Not so much like in the 90s, but no, they seem to be on the ball. You're one of the bonded, aren't you? Like me? Please, I need your help. My throat, I can't sing anymore. I've been making excuses, but it's just not getting any better. If my patron thinks I'm of no use to him, then I need you to sneak up to the derelicts and describe my condition to Thoric. Here's a list of symptoms and a hunk of meal to pay for his medicines. Please, I have no one else to turn to. This bit sucks. This bit really, really sucks. Yeah, this bit's real bad. I think this bit is like in many ways worse than Tesleen. We just don't see it. We meet her again later, by the way. After she's how do they put it? Not sure. They have like a very polite way of describing the transformation. Ascended, I think. Yeah. After she's ascended, we meet her again. Meet her where? Yeah, the implication is that. Yeah. It's not 100% confirmed, but it totally is her. The second... the final boss in the level 79 dungeon. Hey, Silite, thank you very much for the resub, by the way. Mount Gorg, yes. Oh, it's totally her. Yeah, we haven't gotten like a hard confirmation, but all the kind of pieces are there. Yeah, the music-themed and singing-themed attacks. Yeah. Hey, you need medicines, tonics, potions? Yeah, something like that. A cure for an ailing voice, is it? No medicine would cure this. Methinks a songbird has a lump in her throat. Must be cut out, excised. Even then, the voice may never heal completely. Man, what kind of quack-ass alchemist is this guy? Poor little songbird. Will I kick her from the nest, I wonder? Or simply silence her chirps? Oh, your face! You didn't know? Of the many hopefuls that entered the city, very few are ever seen to leave, even as corpses. Oh, you might see one or two fortunate fools hurled from the balconies, but the rest, gone. Town of nightmares it is. Not for this ship's rat, oh no, I'm content to scurry around down here and nibble on the crumbs that fall from the table. This consultation is over. You have my verdict, and I have my meal. Good day. Oh dear. The mainstay, I think. Depends on how quick they do this ascension thing. They do it like pretty much immediately, I think. It's not like the transformation doesn't take very long. It's not like they turn slowly. Obscenity is Vothri's mum? Really? Interesting. And the obscenity was conceiving a human sending a hybrid. Reen said she's abnormally powerful, which could... because she had a warden inside her. Yikes. That's interesting, Espional. That's an interesting theory. Did you get my medicine? so that's it. What am I to do if I can't sing? Fuck this guy. Fuck you. Like, fucking slap the shit out of this guy. Ah, there you are, my sweet canary. Have you been crying again? Don't tell me your voice is still not on the mend. Oh, generous sir, have mercy. I've done all I can, but even the apothecary said... So you've been suffering all this time? I'm sorry, my pet. I hadn't realized your affliction was this grave. But you needn't fret. I'll not reward your hours of trilling by casting you out into the street. You're too kind, sir. What use am I if I cannot sing? I fear the day I become more burden to you than treasure. He seems like he sincerely believes he's helping her. Well, yeah, he does, but, like, at the same time, fuck him, you know? Because he's not. He's super not. Then I shall have a word with Lord Votry and arrange for your ascension. In that paradise where resides neither pain nor illness will your song ring out clearly once again. Or mayhap you think it's a step too far? No, You would do that for me? Of course. Why, I would almost wish to hasten my own ascension, knowing your blessed instrument was waiting there to greet me. Ascension? Oh. You've seen that. Ah, you must be a new arrival. Allow me to explain. As all know, the Sin Eaters exist to devour the sinful, but also do they serve to gather the souls of the innocent and shepherd them on to celestial paradise. It is through Lord Votry that we learned this truth. It is through Lord Votry's grace that the free people of Eulmore are destined to embrace salvation. We are blessed to spend our days surrounded by love and merriment, until at last we are called to our final rapture. Even the bonded may find a place within that host should their patrons deem them worthy. Lord Votry truly is a great man, isn't he? Now, if you'll excuse us, we must be on our way. May you find eternal salvation for the compassion you have shown my precious canary. Ugh. No. The thing is, the fact that we've already done Alizé's quest and seen that, I'm really surprised that we don't try to, like, intervene in this. Man, just fuck that guy. Ugh. I wonder if there are any other Sin Eaters we fight that we can sort of make some educated guesses to their origin, their pre-ascended origin. Because I got to imagine that Koji and Oda had a couple of them sort of figured. I want to get a shot at this. Hold on. Manual focus. Yeah. Depth of field, we can increase that a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. There you go. good to see you back. You were taking so long I began to worry something had happened. I've begun sketching an outline for the portrait, but nay, the chairs appear otherwise occupied. Will you share what your investigations have gleaned thus far? No, that's fine, SB Arnold. I mean, I definitely agree with you that I like that all the sort of antagonistic groups in the game are shown to have kind of shades of light and darkness, and all of the protagonistic groups are kind of the same thing, right? It's not just, you know, it's not so simple as good guys and bad guys. So, Lord Vothry boasts some manner of influence over the Sin Eaters, does he? That would explain the reverence in which he is held by the citizenry. And as for this ascension business, cannot help but be put in mind that apothecary in his ominous remarks. So many folk have entered the city over the years, and where do they go? Come on, Alphinaud, you should be able to put 2 and 2 together by now. Hi, Voidspark, how you doing?
I take my eye off you for one moment, and you're chattering away with that assistant of yours. Am I to assume that outline is done, then? What in the blazes? It's so unflattering. Explain yourself, Alphinaud. Where is your artistic interpretation? It should evoke images of affluence and nobility and overwhelm the viewer with its boundless beauty.
Lord Chai, you stated this portrait was to commemorate your anniversary. Yours being a joyous reunion, it seemed to me that a realistic portrayal...
Realistic? I don't want realism, I want perfection. A spectacle to slacken jaws and weaken knees, to make people cry out in amazement. Now fetch a blank canvas and...
What?
I say, did that come from above?
Hey, little legs, how you doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. A tale to make you quiver and your noble blood freeze. There was a villain on the loose set to ruin our fair city. But our Lord has got him now, and his fate will not be pretty. Yes, the hammer of justice is poised to come crashing down, and one and all who'd watch it fall are invited to join his lordship in the offer.
Oh, a public execution, oh goody!
A malcontent, how dreadful.
And this man is to face sentencing?
That's right. In fact, if you're curious, it might be worth you going along for the experience. The offer they mentioned is part of the emergence to the level above us where Lord Vothry resides. Ordinarily, you would be barred from entering, but it seems they'll be opening its doors for the next little while. The ground lift will take you up there.
We had better not dawdle then. Had a little too much wine? Oh, I'm jealous. I am quite jelly. Alcohol is so expensive in Norway. It's twice what you pay in Australia. AKA about 4 times what you pay in America.